I have a story about this album. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm a huge fan of James Labrie's solo records. Not so much the Mo Muzzler stuff, like that's okay. It's pretty cool. But, Static Impulse and Impermanent Resonance. And obviously I knew about Elements of Persuasion. I went to listen to stuff for this show. And when I pulled up Elements of Persuasion, I went, oh my God, I never listened to this. Like, I could have sworn that I listened to it. And I hadn't. And I put this in and I was like, this is effing awesome. Like, this is right up my alley with the detuned guitars and just, it's like his old school, like, power highs and everything. So, so the first one that I have, again, is Crucify, the opening track. Like I said, it just comes in all slow and heavy, and then all of a sudden, it's just a thrash tune. And I was just like, when it comes in, gug, 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 I was like, all right, this is cool. And then it rings out, and you go, I was like, oh my God, this is great. So, I loved it, man. There's a couple acoustic guitar parts, and the first one just dead stop and a power chord, and you're like, oh, you're about to get your ass kicked again. So that was sweet, and again, that vintage high James Labrie power vocal is just on full display in this song. It's so good.
Yeah, I love the acoustic intro. Is really cool. That's about as high as he probably ever gets up there. It's always that point where, man, it sounds like it's just about to go off the rails, but it doesn't quite. Yep. But you got all those relentless double time bass drums and everything going. The only complaint I have on this song is it takes about a minute and a half to get into his vocals and stuff. And when we get to some of the other stuff, that's kind of what I prefer more with his solo albums. But kind of a minimal complaint.
So you're saying you prefer that he gets to the vocal quicker? You're saying?
Yeah, and I also think like there's an intro after the acoustic part. There's I think kind of an unnecessary guitar solo thing before we get to the heavy part of the verse. I'm not like trying to nitpick every part of these songs, but on certain ones, I could definitely feel like, man, this is why I enjoy these more.
Right.
But yeah, great vocal performance on the choruses, especially.